Hi, welcome to Online for Love, your resource for dating by the numbers. I'm Tyler, your online dating expert, and today we're going to be talking about
the best 6 dating sites for nerds, gamers, and geeks.
This wasn't the easiest list to put together, and honestly, I must have gone through about 15 different websites
before I could decide what the best top 6 were.
And the reason why the other websites aren't even on this list is because the user base is so low. There's not that many people on there that it's not really feasible for me to even tell you about those websites. There's actually a bunch of different types of geeks and nerds as well. There's some who are into sci-fi stuff, some are into comic books and superheroes, and some who are definitely into like anime and otaku type of stuff. So a lot of these websites aren't really geared towards just one type. So let's see which one's the right one for you. As a nerd myself, I find that I can be pretty socially awkward, and luckily Online for Love has some guides in the description down below that allow me to make a great profile for myself in order to make myself have a great first impression with a bunch of people. And so I highly recommend those guides in the link down below to help you make a great profile for yourself, whether or not you are a man or a woman. I do want to mention that this video is based on an article that is written by us here at Online for Love, and that you can find a link to that article in the description down below. The numbers that I may mention in this article are all constantly updated on the website, and the numbers that I'm mentioning now are only true at the time of me making this video. So if you want a full updated version of what I'm talking about, be sure to check out the link in the description down below. So without holding us back anymore, I'm going to jump into this list with the first number on our list, which is Match.com. And I know what you're thinking. Match.com is not a geek and nerd site. What are you talking about, Tyler? And you know what? I thought the same exact thing too, but I put in hours of research to try and find what websites had the best geeks and nerds, and Match.com was really high up there simply because there are just so many users that are on the site. While the website doesn't advertise itself as just a geeks and nerds website, there are plenty of geeks and nerds on there is what I'm saying. What's great about Match is you can search for other people using your features and filters, and you can set up your profile to be on the nerdier side so that other people who are searching for nerds will find you as well. So again, Match.com is one of the biggest dating sites out there, and that leads it to have one of the biggest communities of nerds and geeks on there. You just have to make sure you're looking for it and you're using your filters to find those particular people, and you're setting up your website to be able to be found by other nerds as well. Are you sure nerds and geek dating is the right kind of dating that you want to do? Luckily, Online for Love has an online dating website quiz in the description down below that you can take that can help you find the right online dating website for you. Is it Match? Is it OkCupid? Is it Bumble? Is it Grindr? There are so many options out there, and this website will help you narrow it down. So that brings me to my second one on the list, which is eHarmony. Now, similar to Match, there's just so many people on these websites that you're bound to find some other geeks and nerds on there if you're looking for that. But what's really cool is eHarmony is set up with an awesome algorithm that helps you find those people for you. Where at Match.com, you have to figure out your own features and all that. eHarmony gives you a 29-point personality quiz that allows you to match up with other people who have the same interest as you and hands them to you on a silver platter. And I think since we're all nerds here, a good algorithm is something that we can all really appreciate. When you first sign up for eHarmony.com, it takes you about half an hour of answering various different questions, which allows the algorithm to figure out what your likes, your dislikes, and what type of personality you have. The questionnaire may be lengthy, but it's definitely worth it because you're basically feeding information to the algorithm to help find your perfect compatible nerd match. While Match.com is the king when it comes to the number of gamers, geeks, and sci-fi fanatics, it might not be the easiest way to find them using only their features that are available on their website, where eHarmony really just does all of the work for you. So if you'd rather just sit back and let an algorithm do it, I would choose eHarmony over Match for this. Slipping in at number 3 is Zoosk.com, and the reason why it is on this list is because it allows you to send and receive automated messages on the daily. I can understand as a nerd myself that it can be really difficult to start a conversation with someone you feel like you're really into. And these automated messages really help you to be able to at least start that conversation. It helps tremendously, especially if your nerves are just bouncing off the walls. Overall, Zoosk is more of a younger crowd with people in their 20s and 30s for the most part, and a ton of people that have interest in the geek world. I'd say it's great for geeks, nerds, and gamers as well because it's a vastly growing website and it currently has about 40 million members on it. It's meant to be used on your smartphone as well, so it's very modern and it's very user-friendly. In addition to the icebreaking feature that Zoosk offers, it also does offer a bunch of features and filters that you can use to try and find other like-minded nerds. Just like on Match, on Zoosk, if you set up your profile to be looking for other nerds and geeks and gamers, you will find other nerds, geeks, and gamers. So the next 4 dating websites on this list are dating websites that are specifically built for geeks, nerds, and gamers. They're not generic websites like the first 3 I mentioned. Before I continue though and tell you these websites, I would like to invite you to hit like if you are enjoying the video and to hit subscribe to make sure you don't miss out on any more online dating tips from Online for Love. So number 4 on the list is geeknerddating.com, and I'm sure you can tell by the name exactly what the demographics and psychographics of the users are. So the biggest feature that this website offers is its in-depth searching feature, which is typical with every dating website, except this one is really geared towards more geeks and nerds. So you can really search super specific things like I'm looking for Star Wars fans only, or I'm just a computer programmer looking for other computer programmers, so it'll say coders only. So it's pretty cool that you can really narrow it down that far on this website. The website also has you provide generic information such as your location, your age, your sexual preference, among other things. Setting up your profile on this website is key to finding other nerds though, because you really need to go over what kind of things you're into so that when other people search for you, you show up in their searches. Simply create what you want to find in your attractive bio, and then all the other users who are looking for similar things to you will come swimming over. Next on our list, number 5 is soulgeek.com, and you'll be able to tell right away by looking at their website front homepage that they're really into people who are into anime, comic books, or superhero stuff, kind of Comic-Con-y type of stuff. The sign up page asks you if you're a fan guy or a fan girl, and the website's animation is pretty cool as it has a pretty strong comic book feel, and that's even true with the font that they're using. Overall, I think you'll be able to find a great match on soulgeek.com, but the one downside is that they don't have a very big population of users on that website. Just like almost any other dating website on soulgeek.com, you can sign up for free, but if you want to access some of the premium stuff, you have to pay a price. The sign up process is pretty fun because like other websites, it gives you a host of questions to ask. Typical questions on typical dating sites are things like, is jealousy healthy in a relationship, or would you rather go to Paris or a cabin in the woods? But this website's really cool because it asks you stuff like, what's your favorite anime, and who's your favorite superhero, and things that are really geek and nerd related. These initial quick questions help the algorithm decide what kind of geek you are and to help match you with other like-minded geeks. Like geeknerddating.com, soulgeek.com also doesn't have a large abundance of users, which is also why I put it as number 5 on this list. I wish I could put it higher though, because I really like the design, the layout, and the overall feel of the website itself. It's a lot of fun. So next on my list, number 6 is geekyfriendsdate.com. Unlike soulgeek.com, this website isn't really concentrated towards a particular type of geek where they're into anime, comic books, or stuff like that. It's a lot broader. Overall, this is a very generic nerd dating website, and it does come with some search filter features as well, where you can search for age, the distance a person is from you, their sexual orientation, or even some likes and dislikes. Even though this website is obviously meant for geeks, as you can see from their name, it just doesn't feel like that when you look at the website and the design of it itself. It feels like it's very out of touch with who geeks and nerds are, and that's just my personal opinion though, if I'm being honest. That being said though, they still do have a very nerdy user base, so it might be the best place to go to find your geeky significant other.
So there you have it, everyone. That's the top 6 dating sites for nerds, gamers, geeks, dweebs, whatever name we want to apply to ourselves.
Overall, the biggest factor when it comes to any sort of niche dating is that there's actually enough people on the website in order to support the community. There are of course other features you can really utilize as well on some of these sites, which include the ice-breaking feature of automated messaging and the search features of finding what kind of nerds that they are into, if they're sci-fi or if they're anime or if they're comic book nerds. Based on these reasons, I do think I'm gonna have to choose Match.com as the best one overall, simply because it is a huge user base and you are also allowed to search through all of these people with all these specific features. Zoosk is also a very large, fast-growing website too, and with that ice-breaking feature, I really do think that's a player in the game to. But then again, if you are a person who doesn't want to put a lot of work and time into trying to find your match, eHarmony is definitely there to do all of that work for you and hand you your match on a silver platter. Getting a date on any of these geek nerd sites or any dating site in general really comes down to you being able to state exactly what you want in your website, having ideal photos, learning how to flirt with a guy or a girl, and learning how to make just great conversation in general. All of these tips on how to make a great profile and more can be found in the description below on Online for Love. Maybe you're okay with a long distance relationship, and if you are, we do have some guides in the description down below that can help you figure out how to go about that. I really appreciate if you guys could let me know if you like the list that I provided, or if you have any other geek nerd dating websites that you think are better that weren't mentioned on the list that should be in the comment section down below. I want to ask you to give a thumbs up if you liked it, and to subscribe if you loved it, and be sure to ring the bell so that you don't miss any more tips from Online for Love. And there you have it, you're on your way to mastering the world of online geek dating. Until next time.